Hello and welcome to Ground Up Discussions podcast with Royal Flush Designs and Les Redway. So Les, if you want to introduce yourself, your social media, etc. And we'll get into ours.
I'm Les Redway. I go by the name Les Redway, LR for images. That's it basically. I'm a freelance photographer.
Yep, brilliant. Okay, and obviously we're Royal Flush Designs. I'm Johnny, this is Callum, founders at Royal Flush Designs on Instagram, and it's Royal Flush on Twitter, RYAL Flush. So yeah, basically we're starting this podcast hopefully every week or whenever we can get guests available, just to sort of go on about how we've started the business, where we've come from, where we're at now, just kind of to give anyone else who's thinking about doing it a little push, a little go for it, just do it, just do what you want to do in your life, do you know what I mean? So obviously we've all done that ourselves in different ways. So yeah, we just wanted to sort of go over that. Obviously, Les, you're going to be the first guest on, but obviously every week...
I feel proper privileged to be the first one to christen it.
Yeah, christen it, yeah. But obviously every week you're going to be on it with me as well, and we're going to interview different people, aren't we? But I just thought we'd start it off. I just thought it made the most sense to go through our histories first.
It's all good. Nice one.
So yeah, if you want to give them a little bit of a brief... about yourself, because obviously for anyone who's from Liverpool or our area, you've got a bit of a different accent, haven't you?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so I'm from London, if you couldn't tell. Like I said, I go by the name Les Redway, LR for images, and I'm a photographer.
Yeah,
I'm based in London and Liverpool. I'm in 2 locations, and
greedy.
It works out well, so it's all good. But I'm a music and portrait photographer, I would say, but I don't really kind of box myself in. I'm just kind of saying it just to make it clear, because when you go on my feed on Instagram, that's all you're going to see is musicians and just portraits and stuff. So yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, I myself am from Wallasey, and I met this lad here back in the day, 2007, 2008?
About 15, 16, something like that.
You had like the little emo haircut and that, didn't you?
Really?
Oh, mate.
Terrible
Terrible. I mean, I can't talk. I had the moody mohawk, didn't I?
Yeah, sad shape a
You got
lot.
these pictures out?
We'll get them for you. We'll find them. But I remember
lip piercing a lot, mate.
Yeah, he had the lip piercing and everything, mate. Honestly, yeah, looked like Boy George and that from Garston or whatever.
Unscross.
Yeah, sorry, he's from Unscross. So so I left school when I was I went to sixth form. Is that what you had called it around London? Is it sixth form? Just after, yeah. And I aced it. I failed my first year. And I was just kind of redoing the year because I thought, fucking what else am I going to do here? And through that, I just started looking at different and things I could do. I was always creative and I always wanted to do something with that. But school just wasn't for me, kind of thing. So I applied for Liverpool Community College for 3 different courses. Ended up getting on the one with him. So walking the first day, do you remember it?
Yeah.
Walking the first day, here's me looking like a little scally, little mohawk and that. And I walked in the room. I think I walked in late. Do you remember? I'm sure I walked in late.
Yeah, and you stared at me.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, doesn't like me, this guy. Not like me, this kid.
First day.
Jacket on.
What?
Leather jacket on.
Leather jacket on, yeah.
So a leather jacket, yeah.
Yeah, like I was, bringing the lad have been born with fashion, clearly, haven't I? Now. So I walked in. First person I see in the room was him, and I think he's saying I was staring at him. I'm sure I was getting the same glare off you. To be honest, we were just so opposite.
Hair away,
yeah, he's like flicking his hair like that.
Away, yeah.
And we just stared at each other. And at first it was like, ugh. But then from there, mate, we just been like,
yeah, really close friends.
Yeah.
We just hit it off straight away, and it's
the organic ones.
It was just so natural. Like we were so opposite, man. We were so different at first, and then I think that obviously helped it. And what sort of how it flourished, should we say, the relationship?
Pretty much, we just started around in college, didn't we?
We like football, and we just didn't really give a shit, did we? To be honest, we blanked our way through with what was it? BTEC it was, wasn't it?
How many years was it? 2 years or?
Was it was a 2-year degree. 2-year BTEC. 2 years? Was it? No.
Forgetting it. You kind of forget.
Was it 3 years?
2
years. It might have been. But yeah, we bullshit that way for a little bit, didn't we?
Last minute Lucy's all the time, man.
But remember back then, you were into your photography big time, weren't you?
Yeah, I was into it. I still got my camera and stuff like that, but I just fell out of it completely.
The course we did was multimedia,
so
it was like touching up on everything, wasn't it? Photography, video, Photoshop, Illustrator, all that kind of thing?
I'm jealous because I never did nothing like that,
No.
to be fair. I'd love to do it.
What was like, obviously you're a creative person.
Yeah.
What was your push into that? What started you going into that? Like,
Right, so it's crazy because I'm a musician. Well, I'm not a musician now. I used to be a musician. I used to rap. And I went to a school where like quite a lot of creatives was there. Do you know what I mean? It was a creative school.
Yeah.
So like it's done a lot of things, but there was a lot of musicians that went to my school and whatever, and they were rapping. So I kind of wanted to do it because...
So were you going to be like Lil Wayne or...?
Nah, not a Lil Wayne. Do you know what it is? I grew up on grime. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm from London.
Since you started that, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was a special kind of genre because like it was in Bow. That's an area in London.
Right.
Bow E3. And so like grime originated... Well, I would say grime originated there. Like, do you know what I mean? The pioneers were from there, I'd say. And yes, that was the thing that just came into our school. So... everyone was rapping in the school playground, and I was like, I want to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So I was there, and I remember trying to like write 2 lyrics and whatever, and I thought that was
16, mate. Yeah, I'm down. Mate, down with the lingo.
It took me 2 weeks. It wasn't as just. It wasn't an easy thing for me, but I did it and eventually. But I knew I wasn't as good as my other mates and stuff. Do you know what I mean? They were like amazing. They could just freestyle on the spot, whereas it took me, like I said, 2 weeks.
You can't freestyle on the spot now for us?
Nah, I can't. I can't do that. I wish. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Every now and again, you can throw me some work.
Try to photography then.
Later on. But yeah, so like I said, so I did the music, but I realised, luckily for me, I was able to kind of say, you know what, that ain't my thing.
Yeah.
So I did something else and deviated and said, you know what, I want to capture people. Because I was that kid that will tap the musicians in the playground and say, hey, spit your lyrics.
Yeah.
But I would never spit mine when they would tell me to do the same thing. So I knew that I didn't have the love for it. It was just a trend thing at the time. It was very, you know what I mean? It was what was in fashion. But, you know, I loved photography. And plus, my mate actually had a camera. He had a Canon. And I think it was the days of MySpace and Bebo and all them stuff there.
Putting your own tunes on MySpace and all that. I used to love that.
But you know
Stereophonics,
he had a camera and he did the media studies and everything. But I didn't do that. In school, I couldn't say I focused. I couldn't say I was as driven as I am now.
Yeah.
In school, I used to mess around and it just used to be a thing to socialise with people. But my mate had a camera and I remember him taking pictures of me and stuff, and it made me look really better than what I was. And I was like, rah.
So you got into your modelling thing first, did you?
First, I'd say that was the first thing that got me into photography. So he kind of introduced me to it. He had his camera and he was taking pictures of me, and I thought, oh, I look good. So I put it on that MySpace, and it was received well. And I thought, right, I want to get into modelling. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my first camera. Yeah. And I'm going to take pictures myself. I don't need photography.
Like, wait there. Were you the originator of the selfie then? Did you start that? Hey,
sorry.
Bringing trends in that.
It's not denying it.
I'm like, nah, I did the fuck.
That's crazy. No, you know where it is, yeah? I did think I was going to literally get a tripod and just stick it up and take pictures for myself. But it doesn't work like that. So I had the camera, but I was never actually taking pictures. I tried a few times and it was awful. But you know, I just thought, nah, I ain't going to do nothing. But like I said, I grew up around a lot of people that are talented. And they had talents that I didn't have. So, and you know, with this thing, like people, where I'm from, a lot of people are marginalised. So they're not getting the recognition that they deserve. So there's so many talented people, but people don't get seen on that level. So I thought, how can I kind of be the first person to break through, but show these people? Okay. Showcase these people to the world. Do you know what I mean? So from there, I'd do little odd tester shoots and take pictures of like the street stuff, and that was just something I would do. So again, just to clarify and going back to the original thing, I never went to college or did anything like that. That's why I'm envious. I'd love to be like you guys because I've not learned from a book. I've learned from YouTube and my own like mistakes. Do you know what I mean? And just trial and error. But yeah,
well, I say we
was long-winded, but yeah.
Nah, that's fine. No. You said you just learn from a book. I think we kind of just got halfway through it. Didn't we? I remember more from college, like. Photoshop was my thing. Like, what did you like?
Yeah, you were very good at Photoshop.
That was always my, and like still is my thing now. Is my strong point, I'd say. But like we learned some shit, didn't we? Some of the stuff some of it was brilliant, but some of it was just, like your head was just baffled because it was multimedia. So you're touching up on so many different things.
So a master of a jack of all trades, basically.
Yeah, but my problem was like if you weren't good at it, you just weren't interested, and like you really struggle for that kind of thing. I remember there was a night we went out one time, and the next morning we were in. Do you remember that? Like we got in there and we just stank of it, and they were like, "What have you done?" Like we went out last night. They were, "Did you get out pissed?" Well, we had a few, like, and like, we still say that now. Like,
man, you're so honest.
Still talk about that.
Yeah, we had a few, but obviously, me and him have just been best mates ever since. So. Besides all this, that's one of the best things that's ever come of it. Was obviously the bond we've got.
Yeah.
And like he's a blue shite, so I've got to put up with that. And I'm a red, so I'm home and away with Liverpool, and he's home and away with Everton. But I think that helps so much with the brand as well, with the authenticity of it, because we do a lot of Liverpool stuff and we sell a lot of Everton stuff, and it's just it's genuine. Do you know what I mean? It's not like forced. It's nothing like that.
Yeah.
It's all like legit. I mean, he's wearing it now, unfortunately. Like, but
well, I think like when you touched on the college thing, your original idea of Royal Flush came from college, didn't it? So it was like it's gone from. For what, 14 years or something? If it was 2000, 15 years now. No, the name, hasn't it, really?
Well, 10 years, yeah, 2008. But I remember where that kind of come from was if I remember rightly, tell me if this is wrong, but we had the end of year, like this was like your final thing. We had to make a website.
Yeah.
With all our portfolio work. What was yours called? Can you remember?
Can't remember.
No. So
you do, but you just don't want to say.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'm going to get lit up for what I'm about to say. But so we had to make a website, and the website had to have a name, so obviously. But when you went on the website, obviously the world couldn't go on it. It was just like for the college. But when you went on the website, it had all your portfolio of the past 2 years.
Oh, really?
So I was heavily into J. Cole at the time. Do you remember this? Like, I'll go to one of our teachers, like, actually still a good friend, of yours. But Daniel says his name was. Yeah. And he was like, probably one of our favourite teachers. Like, but
the doctor.
The doctor. So we had him, and he was like, right, give me some names, give me some ideas, and I'll tell you. So I was like banging to J. Cole, and at the time I was like, he was going on about being Simba and all that. Mm-hmm. So I was like, yeah, okay. So I went up to him, I was like dead. I was like, yeah, this is it. This is the other one, like, you know what I mean? Went up to him and I was like, because we had that relationship with him, he was just dead honest. I was like, yeah, Young Simba Designs, I think, and he just fucking burst out laughing, and he was like, no chance. So I was a bit like, there's my A-plan gone, like, and I think, like, being me and him, we'd had weeks to think of it. So I had, like, ended up being, like, the night before, I had to have a name, and I was like, fuck. Yeah, I used to be into me sketching when we were in college.
So you can draw as well then, yeah?
Yeah, I'm alright to draw. I'm not, like, an artist or nothing like that, but I can hold my own.
Callum, you can draw as well, yeah? Can you do all that kind of stuff? Because if it's multimedia, what...
Stickman, he's boss of Stickman.
Yeah?
I was just good at just being there, mate, to be honest with you, wasn't I? Just trying to disrupt the class, to be honest with you.
That was your biggest ideas. I say he was, at that time, he was definitely banging into the photography. Don't know if you still feel that way.
Yeah, it was like...
What genres did you like then? What did you do? Like, what caught your eye? Like, what would you go and photograph?
Oh, it was graffiti, wasn't it, for me? Graffiti was a massive thing for me, like stencils and just, you know...
Yeah, you used to... That was another thing he was brilliant at, was stencils. He used to make stencils, and we'd go around and, like, hope the busy's not listening, go around and spray them and stuff like that. Do you know, we had you had Heisenberg and Jesse Pinkman and stuff like that. He used to make really, really good stencils. So, obviously...
Street stuff, then, more than, like, architecture.
I think that's what was brilliant about it. It was two different, completely, almost worlds. Like, I was into sort of sketching, Photoshop, this, that, the other... photography, like graffiti. I think we've both got a love of street art, haven't we?
Yeah,
big time. Yeah. I think that shows in the work. A lot of the stuff we do is kind of based around that. But back to the point, which I forgot what the point was now. To be totally honest, but sorry, it was the name on it.
Yeah.
So the name. So I had like a night or two to do it, and I was just sitting there sketching in this little moleskin, which is like a little pad, and they had a load of drawings in there, and I just started like drawing this like a load of cards with a royal flush. And in the end, anyway, cut a long story short, I come up with the name Royal Flush Designs. I was like, the best of the best in poker. Let's go with that sort of in design. Mm-hmm. So I remember going up to him and he loved it. He was like, yeah, that's a good name. So I just ran with that. And like, obviously after college, we kind of went our separate ways professionally. Mm-hmm. Like, you went straight into work, didn't you?
Yeah, I went to go and live in Holland for 2 years.
That's right,
yeah.
I've never been, so I can only imagine how
it
was crazy else.
Crazy else, mate, yeah. Big up.
Yeah,
it was good. Yeah, it was different, wasn't it? Like, I think where you went to university.
Yeah, I went from the BTEC onto uni.
Yeah. See, I don't even know that. See, that's
it was called interactive media. It was just the same thing with a different name.
Oh, really?
So I went on to John Moore's, and he went to Holland. So it couldn't have been more different. Do you know what I mean? I did the same sort of thing, but yeah, you went to Holland, as you said, and from there, like, I just kind of. Obviously, I was never thinking this is what it was going to be in my life.
I don't think you do, though. Do you know? Do you know what I mean? You do what you love. You don't think it's going to be the thing that you're going to do full time. Do you know what I mean? You just think it's just going to be a hobby, because in school they kind of put that through to you as well, don't you think?
Oh,
I'm making a wild accusation,
100%.
but
no, I agree with you. Yeah. It's like
hobbies are just your hobbies.
Yeah, get your GCSEs, get your degree, this, that, the other, and it's like, especially in this day and age, that's not the way it needs to be. Do you know what I mean? It's like. So I did all that.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought the right thing to do after that was just go and get a job and that kind of. And to be honest, I've been doing at that point like design for like 6 or 7 years or whatever it was. I kind of just thought, I need a little break from this one and just go and tackle the real world.
Yeah.
So I did me fair share of like call centres and all that kind of shit. Like,
what's it like being in the cubicles and stuff? Are you actually in the cubicles? Like
for what? I thought you were in the cubicles.
No. You know that the thing? What do you call it? Like the little boxes where you sit in that little thing and you've got your.
They're not like that, mate. To be honest, they're like big long tables. They've got like a divide in the middle, so like there'll be people over there, and you've all got your computers. They weren't like.
I've never been.
Not on the ones I worked at. I worked for O2. I worked for the Carpenters. Who else did I work with? I worked for River Island.
Oh, is it? Yeah?
Not on the floor, in like the admin.
Yeah.
No, it was admin. It was doing all emails and
answering all companies. Then, like, do you know what I mean?
It was all that's the kind of stuff. And then, like, again, when did you come back from Holland?
Be about. Hang on, what are we talking about? 7 years next March.
Is it? Okay, so yeah. It's about 2013.
Well, what I think's two different, like, complex to a story where yourself, Les, where you didn't go to college or anything like that, but you got interested off your own back and stuck to it with the photography and, you know, the videos and all, and there was a genuine keen interest on that with yourself. Like, you stuck at it after college and stuff, because I know how easy it was, because like myself, like after college, I was like, nah, this is not for me. I didn't want to do university or nothing like that. Yeah. And it's, you know, it's not for everyone, and it isn't, you know. And if you think and feel that it's right, regardless of what is after university, then if you think that deep down that there's a career to have, then go for it, like yourself.
But jumping in on that, what you just said, then looking back now, it definitely worked for me in terms of going to uni. But
for you, clearly, it didn't work, because. It's interesting. Interesting you're saying that, because my thing is that me now as a freelance photographer, self-taught, I taught myself everything. I think to myself, how would I be if I was taught? Because you know, you've got a lot of conventionalists that tell you this is what's got to be done. This is the right way. This is the wrong way. Like, I think creativity is a thing where you just do what feels right.
It's natural, isn't it?
It comes natural. So I then think to myself, if I had gone down the route of actually going to college and whatever, would I love it or hate it? And I just don't know. So just hearing what your side of the story, saying that you just wanted to take time out and stuff, I find that interesting. It kind of confirms what I've been thinking for the last couple of weeks or, you know what I mean? For however long I've been thinking it. So
But then again, though, like, obviously, you know, for this podcast, like, people might be in that situation where, like, they're not, where college or school or whatever's not for them, but you could be like that point of like inspiration type of thing, or a route to go down, to be like, you know, it's not for everyone, but you can do it yourself. It doesn't matter. It might not. It doesn't have to be the right way, or is there the right way? Is there the right way or the wrong way?
The right way cost me 40 grand in debt. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, of course, there's always that as well, isn't there?
I'm in the same situation though. I went to uni.
You did.
I went college and uni.
What did you do in uni?
Do you know what's matter? I'll tell you what I did in college first. So I done. So I left school. I didn't like anything that was like. I didn't like any theory stuff. I like practical work.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? I'm going to be a plumber. Like, all my mates were doing like hands-on stuff. So I thought that's the lads kind of thing to do.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm going to do plumbing. And I was about to swear, but I'm completely rubbish.
Mate, it's our podcast. Do what you fucking want.
Completely shit at maths. But I done plumbing. So I kind of I was winging it. Like, first year, I was there, like, copying people's like measurements and I was like, I don't know. But I did the plumbing, and I didn't like it whatsoever, so I stopped it. But I stopped halfway through. But I still got my I don't know what you want to call it.
You're not swigging that. I'm having that.
Yeah, go for it.
Go on, yeah. Sorry. Carry on.
That's all good. For the first year, I still got the papers and everything, but I didn't proceed to the next year. So in the summer, I did another course, thinking maybe it was just that college, maybe plumbing. Yeah. So I done another course. Do
you reckon you were still, sorry to put in, do you reckon subconsciously you were trying to stick to this, this is what you need to do kind of thing?
The thing with me though, one thing I would say is I start something and I don't start something and just leave it. I always finish it. So if I don't like it, I'll stick it through. Yeah. That's why, I don't know, maybe it's because I didn't do well in school. I knew that I needed to kind of do well.
Have a little bit more.
Do you know what I mean? In something that I've chosen to do. Yeah. In school, you're not kind of given a choice to do whatever you want. Well, you are in year 9, but you get my drift.
No, yeah.
But yeah, in the summer, I managed to do a little mini course that you do a variety of things. You do like plumbing, you do bricklaying, you do painting and decorating. Yeah. And I think you do an electrician as well. So I did that just because I thought maybe the first year, maybe plumbing weren't my thing, but if I can be a jack of all trades, that would be good. Did that, and it was the same kind of thing. That it was a 3-month course. This one, I was like, nah, this ain't for me. Then I did health and social care. Believe it or not. You wouldn't believe it, but I did health and social care. God. And like I said, it's a dominoes effect. I didn't do well in school, so as a result, I did that for a good 2 years or so.
Yeah.
And I was well behind. But I had an interest in like doing youth work as well, so I did that to kind of get into youth work. So that was my first job, being a youth consultant. I used to go and test people for smoking and stuff like that. You know, the long age testing and stuff that you blow into the machine and check your age. So I was doing all that, and that was nothing to do with photography. It's mad, but when I was working in a youth club and stuff, and I saw some of the kids I was around and stuff, I wanted to, I don't know, I used photography as a means to connect with them.
Okay.
But going back to my point, so yeah, I done youth work and stuff. I went to uni and did that as well for 3 years. My dissertation question was, how can I use photography as a means to connect with young people and the wider community? So that's what kind of got me into photography, I'd say.
Yeah, not the selfies.
No, that was at 16. But then when I got to 17, 18, 19, I realised that it's all long. I can't. It's not practical, and I didn't want to pay out as well, which was naive of me because I would have paid out now. Looking at it, I didn't pay out, so I just said, you know what, I'm not gonna really do it, but. Like I said, creative people come in my life, and I'm always, do you know what I mean, intrigued by someone that has a talent. So that's how I kind of got through to it. And I thought, how can I merge the two together? I'm doing youth work. I love photography. How can I merge the two together? And that's when I said, you know what, I'm going to document the people that are around me to showcase them and stuff. So that's how I kind of got in. Okay. It was by accident in a sense. I don't know. I think I've had the eye, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So going to what you said then,
go on.
What I was going to ask you was, your first camera, do you remember how you got it? Did you pay for it? Were you given it? What was it?
No, I remember this clearly. So I said to Mum, it was a Micro Four Thirds, to be fair.
It was a what?
A Micro Four Thirds. Micro Four Thirds.
Okay.
So like different sensor sizes. It was just a smaller sensor size camera, and it was cheaper as well. But it was the newest things on the market then, 2011 or 12. I think that's when it first came out.
Yeah.
And I remember the price actually, 250 quid.
Yeah.
I remember saying to my mum, can you get that for me? And so my mum...
I imagine that's pennies now for a decent camera, is it?
Oh, I'm telling you.
Yeah, you get a lens for that price now.
Well, the cameras are cheaper. It's the lenses that will kill you.
Totally, yeah.
I'm telling you. So I remember my mum and my nan went half on it, and that...
Oh, okay.
It's mad. It's
best thing ever though at the time. Like
I'm telling you, you know what? It's because my mum... I don't want to say I grew up in struggle or whatever, but like... I never had all the luxuries growing up, do you know? I never had that PlayStations and Xboxes. I never had all that, so... Anything that I would ask for, my mum would always say no. Do you know what I mean? So when I asked my mum for the camera, my mum and nan went half
and they got it,
and they got it for me. So good. That was for me. I was properly excited and stuff. Do you know what I mean? And it was interchangeable lens. I was like, what? It's the closest thing to like a Canon. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what you had on it. I was just about to say, what was your first? Do you remember through college you had one?
It was through me dad, to be honest with you, like the photography side. He was massive on like Nikons, to be honest with you. He was really like massive, and
so that's like for you. That's like Arsenal, Tottenham, is it? Like,
I don't like Canon. We won't talk about Canon.
Okay, yeah, we mentioned them. In that case,
I'm not gonna. I'm not.
You've got a Canon, haven't you now?
No,
I'm joking. I was just visiting you.
No, but it was more so through me dad, to be honest with you. And like now, he's really a really good photographer now. He's really good. Yeah, but he trained himself. He trained himself up as in photography. You know, he didn't go to college or anything like that. You know, he's he's worked a Monday to Friday job for God knows how long, like so many years, and then he just, it's a hobby now and he loves it, like every opportunity, like obviously because he's got 3 grandkids now, and like he just loves taking photographs of them and stuff and just going out and whatever. He absolutely loves it, like. And you know, sometimes like he puts himself down and like with the confidence side, and he's such a good yeah, exactly, yeah, you know, because you know there's a different side of being cocky and confidence, you know what I mean? And I think like when you're confident in something and you're passionate about it, the two of them come together and it just like makes such good work, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, you're gonna get people that say, don't think that, I'm not really like digging that type of thing or whatever, but and it's like it's each to their own, you know. I'm very
100% like
subjective, isn't it?
What works so well with me and him is if I come up with something, so I'll be like the hands-on guy, if you want to call it that, and then I'll always shoot the ideas back and forth with him. Yeah, so and if you get if you get like a thumbs up off him, then you know it's good to go, because he's tough to please. But you need that. Like, you can be with so many people who are just yes men, like. And I don't think this is in a nasty way, but if you've got your mates and you'll send them something, they'll be like, that's basta, and you never hear like no, it's okay, or off them, then you've got to like think about that in terms of, you know, going forward in design. So he was always that. So I'll just quickly get back into like
that's all good, mate.
So obviously I've left for call centres. I'm not going to bore everyone with that, but in the end I started on the side of call centres. How it very first started, so to say, 2015 in the summer. I know this because it was on my Instagram the other day, looking back on my personal one, the trainees. So yeah, I bought a pair of. I love my trainees. Like anyone who knows me knows that I'm a bit obsessed with trainees. Like, so I bought a pair of custom trainees off Instagram. At the time, it was a big. I mean, it still is quite big, but I remember back then, like. It was massive. Like, people make custom trainers, so you paint them with the special paint.
I remember that, man. I used to see the Air Forces and stuff. I'm like,
all that kind of Harachis when they were massive back in the day. So it was all that kind of thing. In fact, it was Harachis I bought a pair of white Harachis that were done with like this red, all this paint on it and all this, that and the other. And, you know, they were all right, yeah. Got them off the fella. I just remember looking at them thinking, I paid like £200 for them, custom pair. And I was looking at them going, I'm sure I could do that, you know what I mean? So
you wasn't really satisfied with what he
no, they were fine.
Oh, no,
I wasn't satisfied. I just thought, what's he done there that I can't do myself for the money I've paid? So I started Googling, like, firstly, what are the paints, because like the paints, you know, stay on and all that. I mean, they don't if you batter them, but if you just like, you know, if you protect them, the paints will be fine and all that. So I was like, what are these paints? So I started Googling what the paints were. Started Googling where you get them from. Then I started watching YouTube videos of how you make custom trainers.
Thank God for YouTube, man.
Yeah, that's another thing. And like now we're so blessed in an age where you can just do that. Like if your dad was starting back in the day with his photography, it's literally, if you've got a good eye for photography, that's where you go from. I'd imagine.
Honestly, so many people.
But without YouTube, like it's just, there's so many things now that you can do, which is another thing, like where you should just go for. If you love something, find out how to do it properly and just do it. Just fucking do it. It doesn't matter, like, if you know you're working all these hours, if you've got a passion, you'll always find time to do it. And I think that's 100. Just the way to do it, because that's what I was like, that's how it started. So I was getting me money through my call centre work, but I loved trainees, I loved fashion, and like that's what I wanted. Like, I didn't realise I wanted to do clothing as such, but it just sort of naturally nurtured that, it went into that, should I say. So yeah, back to the trainees. I'm doing these trainees and I'm like, right, I'm going to order a pair. So I ordered like this little starter set from Angelus, which is like a paint company. Got them, ordered a pair of Stan Smiths. I remember at the time my brother wanted a pair of trainees, and I was like, listen, you pay for the trainers and just let me paint them. I went, obviously I'm not going to charge it, I just want to see how it works. So I painted this pair of trainees.
You're generous, isn't it?
I'm a generous guy, mate.
No,
no, he paid for the Stan Smiths.
Oh, but you could have got Primark ones.
He'd have had Lonsdales in that case if I was paying. Nah, joking. Nah. So yeah, he bought these all white Stan Smiths, and I put a little design on them anyway, and I just took a couple of photos of them. And I just didn't think anything of it. I gave him and he was like, oh, nice one, you know. And then my mate Jay, I was with him one day, and I just showed him the photographs. I was like, oh, by the way, what do you think of these? Painted these the other day? And he's like, oh, yeah, son. Nice them. I was like, all right, son. I think nothing of it. About 2 weeks later, I get a text off him going, all right, mate, you know them superstars you did for your brother? Can you do them for my girlfriend? in these colours. So I said, all right, I haven't got them colours in. So if she pays for the colours, that's all I'll charge her for. So then I'm starting to build me little paints and all that.
Sick.
So then I made her a pair, and she was really happy with them. And I think, I can't remember if I put them. No, that's right. Then I put them 2 pairs of trainers on my personal Instagram. Just like, because I was quite happy with them as a guy, you know. When I look back at them now, they were shite.
Yeah,
but, you know, yeah. When I look back now, the first pair looked like a pair of bowling shoes. But nah, you know, at the time I was like, get it. So, anyway, so I put them on my Instagram. And then I started getting messages then off like people going, I love these. Can I have them in these colours? So I was like, here we fucking go. So I was like, I get another. I was like, right, again, for the first like 4 or 5 pairs, I was just charging for the paints. Because again, I wasn't really sure what I was doing. I wasn't sure how long the paint was going to last.
Can't go in all aggressive and
exactly.
Be money orientated at that point. You know what I mean?
So then that's when like me and him really started going again then, and I was like, listen, I don't want to keep boring people on my personal Instagram with putting shoes up. I was like, I think it's time to make my own Instagram. And I think we were going back and forth, like, what should I call it? Because I'll always kind of go to Callum for
even
it's just
now
the acceptance, mate.
Would you say even now you do that as well?
What would you say?
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
Because he's the number one critic. But if you can please that, then that's, you know what I mean. I know that for me is enough.
It's nothing personal though. It's just purely because, you know, I want him to succeed with his own brand, and you know, it's difficult. You know, you see so many people out there now, like, designing t-shirts, and you know, it's fair play. You know, there's money to be made in that, but I think that it's not.
That comes with like a sloppiness, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, we could touch up on it a bit, like, but obviously there's companies that whatever. So yeah, like getting the nod off him was always good. So we were going back and forth for ideas, and then I can't even remember how, but Royal Flush came back then. And it was just like, right, I'm going to make an Instagram page, Royal Flush Designs. Checked it, it was free now, and I took it, so it was like bang.
Yeah, that's the best one, isn't it?
And
you don't have to put no hyphens on.
No, no, like underscore, you know.
I can't stand
Royal Flush 12879 and all
Yeah.
that numbers and all that just winds me up a little bit. But yeah, so I was like, yes, it's free, so add that. And then that was it. Then I'm still working and I'm making these trainees, but then, like, for the money you've got to charge, it is expensive. And I don't think people truly at times appreciate the hours you're putting in. For pair of Stan Smiths at the time, or whatever they were, Superstars, they're about 60 quid. Probably well more now. But when I started, so that's the price already. Then you've got my time on top of that. So you're talking 150 for a pair of Superstars, which I understand is expensive.
Yeah, at that time as well. I can imagine.
And I didn't believe in myself enough to do that. I was like, it's
time consuming, wasn't it, for you, to be honest with you? Because the amount of hours that you used to put in, and like the late nights that you used to have, like trying to get like these pair of trainees sort of for this certain individual, like, it was a lot of time and effort for you, wasn't it?
It was.
They don't know that.
They only see the product, don't see the finished product.
On Instagram, I want it in 2 to 3 days.
Yeah, exactly.
I was probably that guy, hands up.
Yeah, I had to knock back a Les once. Nah. So that happens. Then I started getting my garage kitted out, and I had all the stuff in my garage. Then me and him were doing like all nighters in my garage. Remember, at times to get pairs ready for it. So you know, it's going like that, and it's going sound. And I remember one day somebody messaged me and was like, "There's an event called Crep City." In London.
Oh yeah,
in your neck of the woods, that was.
Yeah.
So that's what I was touching on with you about.
Yeah.
Where was it? It's down somewhere. Well, obviously it was in London. Like, but I can't remember what.
I can't remember where it was.
An old brewery, like where
something brewery
or something like that. I think
it wasn't Cainsbury, was it? But it was like it was around there anyway. There's one in London, isn't there?
What part?
Sorry, is it Camden? I don't know.
Probably Camden. It sounds like Camden. Yeah.
Anyway, it was somewhere around there. So we bought a table for there, and we were going to start selling the trainees, the sliders, all that up there. So this was like our first big thing. We were like, here we go, make a few quid, this, that, the other. So we were pulling all nighters to get the stuff ready.
Oh my god,
we just ordered too many sliders, and we had all these sliders that we'd ordered, and we were like, these are going to fly out. And we ended up making. We literally for 2 nights we did like 2 all-nighters, I think, working on them, and then a friend of ours, Greg, was coming to get us in the morning because we had to leave at like 6 in the morning, didn't we, to make sure we were there for like it was like a 12 o'clock start, but to get set up, etc. Proper last minute one. Like the first thing we did, we had no business cards. We got this banner printed off me, mate, which we just hung up. Do you remember the Royal Flush banner? So we get there, and we're nervous as shit. Like, you know, we're not really sure how it's going to go down. Get there, everyone's sounding like Clover, and we're a bit like, okay, yeah, we got these sliders, haven't we? And then
sliders, yeah. Can you imagine? You've come a long way, innit?
Oh well, so.
But that's where I think that's where that also kick-started the clothing, because then you look round and, you know, obviously because it was all kinds.
I think subconsciously, yeah.
You know, different various brands selling their own clothes along with trainees and all that. And I think that kick-started yourself then by saying, you know, I think I can move.
They could definitely open our eyes, didn't they?
To clothing, yeah. And, you know, there was a niche for it.
Yeah. What, customs and stuff?
Yeah,
well, no, not at all. It was custom trainers.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
Do you remember that pair of bloody Kenny Dalglish trainees we had to do? We were like sitting there, like spraying air gun and
designs like? Was the design? Did you have like a variety of things?
So run you through. We did like a Kenny Dalglish pair. We did a Justin Bieber pair. Just like really random stuff. Yeah, there was a load of pattern-based stuff. For the sliders, a lot of them were just blacked out and just like colours. Right? When you look back at it, a lot of them we just painted out like colours on them. And then I'll never forget that day because it was a good day. Like, it cost a few quid. I think we ended up like getting on. I don't think we made a great deal off it, but we got our money back.
Yeah, that's all right.
As soon as that point, we went, right.
That's all right, isn't it?
Remember? Yeah. So our mate was driving, and me and him were on the stall, and we're two lads from, you know, Merseyside up in London. We're like, right, let's get the ale in now and let's start attacking. And like, come on, come and have a look at these sliders. And like, that was it. Then we had a few beers. And it was a fun day, like, you know what I mean? But that kind of opened our eyes up to it all. So coming back from that, we're still working. At this point, it started going a bit quiet in terms of the trainees. I was like selling like 2 pairs a month, which obviously I got the taste for it. So I was like, I want to leave my job now and branch out into that.
Yeah, that's sick, man.
It wasn't quite working, so that's when I introduced. I had like the logo I've got now is different to what it originally was. So I had this logo of like a spade with a crown on. So I got that embroidered. So I was finding, again, it was all like our own work. No one ever told us this is where you go to get this printed. This is the technique you need. We found everything out ourselves. Like, we ordered a load of like one thing I'm proud of, we never used Fruit of the Loom, but we got a load of Gildan t-shirts in, and like we're doing like what works with this, what works with that, just trial and error, making something it looked shit. Okay, let's try again. So the first thing I ever did was I put my logo on a hoodie, and we went down and we took photographs of me in this hoodie. You could never see my face because we never show our faces in anything. So
it was spray painted, wasn't it?
There was that. Well, I weren't going to say that in case there's any police listening, but we done a little spray paint somewhere.
And on the hoodie.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, that's right, yeah. And we did one on a hoodie.
Shot my finger off, nearly collapsed.
He nearly chopped his finger off and nearly fainted in my front garden.
Make a bloody stencil of the crown and the spade, wasn't it?
Yeah, because he was stenciling my money with all his Heisenbergs and that, so he tried to stencil me logo. He nearly chopped his finger off.
How did you chop your finger off?
Because he's a tit. No, God, how did you do that?
Just
with a standing knife on it?
Yeah, it was with a standing knife.
And he caught his finger. But anyway, so yeah, we're now like started to touch up on clothing, and it was like, so again, I'd done the same thing as the trainees. I put a hoodie up with my logo on, and someone went, can I have it in this colour? And it just started to like just naturally progress that way.
Ah, sick. Organic then, yeah?
It really was organic, yeah. And then, so started to do that then, and then back in 2016 it was, the very end of 2016, I was unwell with something. So I had to have time off work. So they gave me until February, and this was like the start of December. I was, you know, signed off work.
Yeah.
Whilst I was signed off work, I was doing little bits from the house and that. I made a little bit of money, and I was like, do I really want to go back here? And when the time comes, I have to go back to work. So it got extended from February to March. In March 2017, they were like, right, you've got to come back. I just said, nah, I'm all right. I just took the plunge. That was my point where I was like, right, I'm going for it. If it all goes tits up, I can go back and get a job for something like that. Yeah, it was. How old was I? I can't even remember. But yeah, so I just like let's go for it. I'm going to do it now. This is the chance, you know. It felt like that was the time now. Come back to work and do that and get back on with that, or just go for it and see what happens. So that's what I did. So yourself, when did you like first? Obviously, I guess your first photo shoot or first couple were free, were they? Like, how did you sort of?
I'm trying to think now. So,
So you've done a couple of photos, you were saying, for your mates and all that?
Yeah, I'd take pictures, so I'd give them a shout. Like, a lot of them I knew that they had been on certain platforms, media platforms on YouTube, and I thought, you know what, I know these people. The best way to kind of get through to the artists that I want to work with is the people I know first of all, so I just contacted them, as you do on Instagram, or even way before Instagram, do you know what I mean? It would be, what was it? Bebo? It's not Bebo. BBM.
Okay, yeah.
So we're going way back.
Now we're going back, aren't we? What's your pin?
Where's your pin?
Yeah.
But no, same kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? You don't really want to kind of go all guns blazing and say, oh, yeah, I want this, when you're not comfortable with what you can do. So it was that kind of thing of, oh, can I just nick you for a second? But you know what? I didn't have to go to people. Luckily for me, I didn't have to get people and say, can I do free work? Per se, I got my family members. I got like my cousins, and I'd get my mum and say, come, let me just take a picture quickly and configure it like that. But then when I was confident and I knew what I wanted to do, which was music, I started doing, I did go down that road of saying, like, let me just nick you for now, I'll just take some pictures. And where it was kind of candid, it wasn't nothing too formal where I was telling them to pose and do this. If I saw something that I wanted it to be like, I would. But
it's all natural kind of.
Yeah, it was natural like that. But then go back. What was the question? What was the question?
It was when you sort of first took your first payment for a shoot.
First payment. So the first payment I took for a shoot.
Can you remember it?
I do remember it, and I remember being excited. So and I worked part time in retail forever. I've never had a full time job. So when you the cubicle thing, I find that fascinating.
Oh yeah.
I've never had one of those. But to be honest with you, I've always wanted a full time job.
Yeah.
I won't lie to you. I left school because I never really did well and did all that different trades, like the plumbing and whatever. I just wanted to be that guy that made my money and just head
it's
down.
It's safe, isn't it? It's, what you're getting every month.
And just live that normal life.
Respect to everyone who does that.
Like 9 to 5 was what I wanted to get. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm an early riser as well, so I just wanted to get a job where I
Tell me about
early in the morning and it's routine. Because I was very regimented back then. Do you know what I mean? I'm not like that now. I can't stand the same day, but. What was it? So I was working in retail, like I said, forever. My first job was a place called Jade, like you don't know it. I worked in Dykeman. You know Dykeman? That German shop. I think it's a German shop. German company. Mm-hmm. I worked in Dykeman, I worked in Next, JD's, and my first part-time job was I'm saying first, but my actual job that wasn't retail was a company called Young Advisors. So I know I'm digressing, but I'm going to get back to what I'm trying to say. The money wasn't really all that, but I remember my first sort of, how can I say, I was getting £12 an hour for the part-time job I was doing with Young Advisors,
nice,
which was in Hammersmith and Fulham.
Yeah.
And I was like, right, this is sick. I'm not getting £6. Like, I was proper happy.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a continuous thing. But so bringing it back to the photography thing and getting my first payment. Retail is just generally, it's not well paid. Don't get me wrong, I won't slate it. Anyone that is doing retail now and they're doing that because they're studying in college and whatever, by all means, get your money, hustle, have that on the side. But I remember getting £8, £6 something. You know what I mean? It was always around that region and it was small. So when someone said to me, I will pay you, for example, £100, I was head over heels. I was excited. Yeah. I was like, really?
And it's a passion in it. It's like,
you know what I mean?
There's nothing better.
So that was my kind of first pay. I remember getting that and I was like, this is the best thing ever. Do you know what I mean? Because I was working, 7-8 hours in retail and I was getting my little peanuts. Yeah. I'm not going to specify how much I was getting then because it's embarrassing to say, but yeah, it was small. But yeah, I remember that was my first payment. And when I kind of got that first lump sum, I was just like, at the time, I was like, yeah, this is sick. I want to get more of this. But you know, when you love what you do, you don't kind of...
The money comes after.
Yeah, that comes afterwards. Do you know what I mean? And I admittedly, I'm probably still going through this. Now, I'm a perfectionist, so for me, I care about how my work looks. So I, like yourself, what you were saying about just charging them for the bare minimum.
Yeah,
I was doing the same
because you're still learning, aren't you? You feel a bit cheeky to be like, right, here's the price when you don't fully know it's going to be that. And I think the hardest thing, it was just sort of, I will say now, anyone thinking about doing like self-employed, but say unemployed, self-employed is your pricing. Knowing what to charge is the hardest thing ever.
No, and you don't get taught this in school.
No. I'm 4 years in now. At times I still think, question, it's having the confidence to go, that's how much I'm worth. And that is the hardest thing out of all of it, is to do that, to know how much you're going to be worth and to stick by your guns, because you're going to lose a lot of people who won't pay you, and you just got to accept that. But if you keep undercutting yourself, then you're not respecting yourself, so why should they respect you and they're going to pay you? That is like a very, very important. If take anything away from this, that would be my thing. Like, make sure your price is right. Confidence and believe in yourself.
I'll echo that. So forgive me, I'm tripping over my words. But now I'd say the same thing. Like I said, so I brought in the retail. The reason why I brought up the whole retail discussion of why I worked there, that destroyed my confidence. I didn't really know what I was worth. So when people would charge, give me a quote or ask for a quote, and I'd give them something, it was always off of the retail kind of pricing. Because that's what you think as a benchmark, is that's what they pay me per hour. So if I times that by how many hours, this is what I should charge. But then you don't realise that you've spent years, if not, years and years and years learning that one thing, that actually no, you can't just do what you're wanting. So the price is not going to be the same as what any person can just do off the street. Do you know what I mean? Because to be fair, and again, someone's got to do it. Someone's got to work these jobs. But you can get anyone to kind of do a retail job, but you can't get anyone to go and take a picture. You can't get anyone to make clothes. Do you know what I mean? Right. So, yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm going on a tangent now, mate. Going on a tangent there.
So when did you come to Liverpool?
When I come to Liverpool, I sound like a migrant, innit? Can I say that on here?
Yes.
I don't know.
Okay, let me rephrase that.
Is that.
What made you come to Liverpool? What made you stay in Liverpool? That took a little turn for the worst, didn't it? Come on,
You know what? It's crazy. You know what? When I'm in Liverpool now and I'm walking around, I'm looking everywhere, and I'm like, Jesus, how did I end up here? Do you know what it is? My missus, do you know what I mean? Like,
always away, innit? Nah, go on.
So yeah, I'm having to kind of declare to the world that I'm taken. So any ladies that were interested, sorry. But yeah, no, I've got a missus, and yeah, basically she's from Liverpool.
Yeah.
From London.
And how are you finding? Let's just get back to now. Yeah, we're going a bit all over the place, but how are you finding work in Liverpool compared to work in London? What's easier?
Do you know where it is? Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's difficult in Liverpool. In that sense, for me, being somebody that has never lived here.
Yeah, no real connections and that.
No,
contacts even.
Everything I had to start new. Do you know what I mean? But that weren't hard for me, because I'm a bit of a. How can I say? I'm a man that gets about. Let's just put it like that. That's the correct way to say it.
Well, your bears listen there. Oh, you mean to clients?
No,
no.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I get around the country. Do you know what I mean? I went uni and stuff. I studied in Oxford, not Oxford, but I studied in Oxford. And you know what I mean? I got a taste for travelling and broadening my horizons. So now coming to Liverpool, how did I find it? Do you know what? Thank God for Instagram and hashtags. Tags in hashtags.
Another thing we're blessed with in this day and age. So you can reach out to anyone.
Exactly that. So I used hashtags and stuff like that. I know you actually through Mark, and Mark was somebody that I knew through a hashtag. Big up Mark. So yeah, in Liverpool, that's what I kind of navigated and got myself out there through Instagram. But no, I generally, it was quite hard to begin with, because you don't know no one's your mates, and people, you was being introduced to people that you not necessarily cool with, in a sense, or weren't your kind of people. But it was alien for me. Like, even the way, big up all the Scousers as well, like, these guys were speaking like all the terminology, I had to adapt to all of that. So it was like, away from perfecting my craft and pitching it to people, I had to learn how to be like you guys, you know what I mean, and know how to you know what I mean, get about in this city. Yeah. So it was difficult at first, but then, like I said, this city, it is good. When you get to know people and you know the lingo and you know the culture, you're alright, you're fine, you flourish, you know what I mean? And the one thing I must say I'm blessed with is that, being from London, we are quite advanced, and that's not to kind of shit on Liverpool. It's just that we are the hub, innit? We're the capital. Do you know what I mean? Like, we are.
Lots of people go there for the jobs, of course.
So like we do a lot of things, and like I was able to take that information, that knowledge, and everything that I had learned there to bring here and bring something new. So when people kind of knew what I had to bring to the table, they were like interested. So that kind of helped with the process and everything. I'd say so. Yeah, man.
Do you remember like the first sort of photograph or shoot or whatever you did, where you thought, like, it's on from here, this is where it you know what I mean? Like for example, for us, the first like massive seller was that. Remember, he was going to be out, let's make an Everton design, and I was
that's Everton, yeah?
So, go on, I'll let you explain this one.
So obviously we were discussing about trying to break into the niche of Everton and Liverpool fans,
or just
like footy attire.
Yeah, footy attire it was. Everyone likes to go to the match, but you can also wear it elsewhere.
Yeah.
We wanted to tackle that, didn't we? From early doors. Yeah. There are people who go to the games in the Liverpool kit, so if we didn't, like, at our age, you don't really do that.
Yeah, of course.
So we wanted to, like, get something that kind of blend.
Full
kit wanker. Yeah, a full kit wanker, he's on it. Yeah. So we didn't want to be them full kit wanker. Nah, joking. If you like to wear that, that's fine. But no, we wanted to kind of get something that was still represent your colours, but it wasn't that. It wasn't fully in. So yeah. You know,
so we were struggling with it at one point because like we were both saying like just put a Liverpool badge on or an Everton badge, but obviously you can't really do that.
We're learning off the thing, copyright. We're still learning.
So I came up with a suggestion. So there's a team in Chile called Everton.
Oh yeah.
And this is the Everton Del Mar. And I said to Johnny, let's just try and throw the badge on. But obviously you made it.
Yeah,
you added a few bits to it as well, didn't you? And then we just started just testing it out and just posting out, didn't we? Just to see like how get the feelers out for it, and then it just.
And I'll never forget. I think it was because of you being the Everton guy on Twitter. Shout out to Everton, aren't we? Because they're the ones.
Yeah.
The account called Everton, aren't we? They retweeted it, and it just blew up, mate. My phone. So at this point, I've now got a website. And I remember thinking, when I first got the website, like, stupidly, I went to my printers, I bought, like, fucking 10 of every size, and I was like, we're going now, we're in the big league now, we're selling. I remember going online, finally getting me, like, working your bollocks off to get this website just how you want it. My first ever photo shoot, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I didn't get a single order. I was just sitting there, like, scratching my head, like, nah, it's whatever. I don't think I got a single order all week, and I was just like, shit. I thought the second you go on a website, that's it, you're in the fucking, you're gone. Wasn't the case at all. That's another thing people have to, is patience. Like, it takes. I mean, as I say, for clothing, it's the third year now. It's the first year we're really starting to make money off the clothing.
Yeah.
So that's another thing.
That was the best piece, though, yeah? Bringing it.
No, this wasn't even on the original site.
No, this wasn't the original.
So this is like, what I'm saying is what broke us into really a bit of demand was was making that t-shirt and hoodie.
Yeah.
That was a thing that really started to take off. Like, and like to this day, I get like, he's always in Goodison, so he's always texting me like, just seen another one, and another mate of mine. They're always texting me going.
That must be the best thing though, seeing somebody wearing your stuff.
Comfortably the best part of the job. Forget money, forget anything else that you'd think would be. I mean, freedom's great. But like just walking around town and like seeing you never got a clue who I am and seeing people wearing that.
Remember that time I told you I was in a cafe in Lark Lane and I saw a woman. I wanted to go up to her and say, "That's my mate's brand."
Yeah, but you thought I'd be a bit of a weird.
A bit weird, but just answering that question because I've been thinking about it now. My first picture.
What you think really? Because you've obviously done shots now with like KSI and stuff like that, haven't you? Sorry, I'm going to have to name drop for you because I know you won't do it.
No, I don't.
Nah, but you've done like a lot of rappers and a lot of like...
Yeah, a lot of musicians that I grew up listening to and, you know what I mean?
So that must be really cool.
A lot of idols that I kind of thought, I love you, man. You're a good guy, man. I love you.
And next minute you're just like, taking shots of them.
But I wouldn't say that. I don't think that was the first picture. I think... Because I was kind of shoehorned into... So basically, I was doing... All right, so I think I've skipped and jumped a point. I'm going to get...
We all have, mate. That's cool.
It is what it is. It is what it is. But... what was it? So I was doing photography, but then I done an internship in Manchester whilst being up in Liverpool. I was commuting and whatnot. And I was, what do you call it? I'm just trying to recollect and get my thoughts together. So I was doing the photos and stuff, but bloody hell, how can I? Just so much to go through because I've been doing this for a long time. Just to kind of bring it to that point. I've been doing it for so long. But no, when I went to Manchester and did my internship, I was kind of required to do photography and videography, which I was kind of shoehorned into videography, and I didn't really do that. Do you know what I mean? But so I was more or less just doing the behind the scenes, recording the video and stuff. I didn't really have passion for that, but I can do it, and I do a good job. But away from that, my first picture being, it was a company called Nasula I was working with, a fashion company, fast fashion. It's like the Pretty Little Thing, just on a smaller tier. Small, I don't know. But a small scale, but I took a picture of this model, and I was like, rah, I took this. I took this. That was when
That's
I
a good feeling.
and I said, I want to be the photographer, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be the photographer that is there doing that, because I wasn't the photographer. Again, like I said, I was doing 2 roles. If the photographer wasn't there, I'd chip in. And, you know what I mean, if the main videographer that wasn't there, I would chip in. So again, as an intern, you're like a second class citizen, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was just like, any opportunity to just snap. So when I got that one picture, I thought, nah, this camera can get it, because when I first started, I was one of these camera snobs. Like, as much as I said my first camera was a Olympus EPO1, which was like 250 quid.
Yeah.
Obviously, you equate quality or pricing with quality. Do you know what I mean? So I thought, that's not going to be good when you've got the £5,000 cameras and whatever it may be. So when I took, but obviously I didn't have that camera. It was a different one. Same kind of family. Yeah. Michael Full Thirds. And when I took this picture, I thought, nah, this is really looking good. This camera's captured it. So I kind of realised that I kind of looked past cameras and stuff, and I realised that, you know what, it's about the person behind it and
100%.
actually being in the right space at the right time. And that's when I said, you know what, I'm going to learn how to do photos properly, and I'm going to take it from there. So I think that was the first introduction. So I moved away from video, and eventually left that company. Yeah, kind of was just testing the waters. And
so, what would you kind of asked me? What is your favourite thing about being a freelance photographer? You know, you were just working for yourself. Yeah. What's the best thing? What's
the best thing? I'd say being able to do what you want to do, in a sense, and that's not in a way of saying, "Oh, I'm my own boss." Because no, to be fair, I like the perks of being able to know that I've got money and clocking off. I don't clock off. Yeah. But how is it like being a freelance photographer? Would you say, or how do I find it?
What's the best thing about it?
What's the best thing about it? Yeah, no, I'd say just being able to say, you know what, you're ready to go anywhere, really and truly. You're not like restricted to say, you know, if someone offers you an opportunity which you can't turn down, you can just do that. But I'd also say you're able to perfect your craft much more and stuff. I think that's the best thing, because like I said, I've had jobs aside doing photography, and when I wasn't freelance, I was working part-time, and I had to kind of ask people, can I have this time off to do this and do that? And you didn't want to say the real reason of why you want the time off, or do you know what I mean? You had to make up excuses. Yeah. But now I don't find myself doing that. I wake up every single day to work in my time, either to like clients or just, you know what I mean, editing and stuff like that. So I'd say that's the best thing, really. It's like you're throwing yourself in the deep end, and you're only going to learn when you're out of your comfort zone. When you're in your comfort zone, I don't feel like you learn nothing.
You don't. 100% agree with you there.
I don't feel like you learn nothing.
You will make mistakes when you're not out in your comfort zone.
This is why I was, you know, before, just a minute ago, I was thinking so hard about what was going on, because, mate, it's just, my brain is always 100 miles per hour. But, and I was in my comfort zone, really and truly. So it's like, whether I get the shot or not, I didn't really care, because I knew that I had other things supporting me. Do you know what I mean? When you know you've got dough coming in from different angles, and you're doing that one thing, you're not fully devoting yourself to it. But when I left that organisation, Basula, I say that again because that was what really threw me in professionally. When I left that company, I was doing it all off my own back with no representation or no any support or nothing. I took it dead serious, you know what I mean? And I was out of my comfort zone. It was like I was, you know what I mean?
Struggling at first. Struggling in the deep end.
Yeah, no. So
that's it, 100%.
Yeah, but
so just jump on that then. What would you say is the worst thing?
Oh, mate, the worst thing about being a photographer,
or just being you, what you've got to do professionally.
Just being you.
No, professional. I'm really going in on you now, aren't I? As in, like, professionally. Like, so yeah, as a photographer, what's the worst thing about it? Being a freelance photographer, being your own boss.
Being your own boss. Again, I hate that.
That's what I mean. It's a bit of an open question. That's why I'm trying to say, what is the worst thing?
I'll answer that. That's not a problem. I can talk on that for days. I'd say the hardest. Huh?
Do you reckon? Go on.
The hardest thing I think is like people not knowing the hard work that goes into what you do, and thinking that it's just a thing where
I like that answer.
You click the button and that is it. They just think, oh, you're getting paid to click a button.
And
appreciating your work. Do you know what I mean? I think that is the hardest thing of being a freelancer.
Okay. Are you now happy? Obviously, we don't have to talk price points, but are you now happy with what you're charging? Do you think you're done now? You think you're 100% confident in that?
100%. I started.
How long did that take you? Just for people who would be thinking about doing it, because I think, as we touched up before, it's a hard thing.
You touched on how long you've been doing it. I started photography in 2012.
Okay.
So 2019 now.
So that took you 7 years to find out the price that you're happy with.
Exactly.
It's not an overnight thing, that is, and it's never going to be.
Because even when I would kind of just go to someone else as a reference, what do you think? Like, blah, 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 blah. people would always say like what you're charging is too low. So I realised that. But you get to that point when you through the work you do day in and day out. Do you know what I mean? For years on end, you know that my time, it's not just what I can do, it's my time, my materials. And, you know what I mean? This is what the labour, like, you know what I mean? You've got to...
Have you had to turn down many jobs because of it? And you've gone, shit, should I have done that? Maybe at a certain stage or something, but in the end, it's what you've got to do.
Yeah. Plenty. I'm not gonna lie, I've done quite a lot. What was you saying? Like jobs that I took on.
So basically,
I could have still turned it down, but I still took it on.
No, the other way around. Maybe you have turned down jobs.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah,
for the pricing.
Definitely.
So you're happy to do that now. You're at a stage where you're more than happy to.
100%. I don't want to name. I want.
No, don't name anyone.
I want to respect companies and stuff. But I've had companies come to my inbox.
Try to lowball you big time.
See prices and like they think they're doing you a favour.
Yeah. I mean, we get a lot of time.
You have to take 2 seconds to compose and say, is this to me or was this to someone else? Did this go in the wrong inbox?
Like for me, one of the worst things, like we'll get people messaging, like as you just said about putting in the hard work, and so technically you could say I've been doing this since 2008 because of everything I've learned from 2008 onwards with going to college and that, and you'll get people who'll message you like, where your blanks from, that which means where's the clothing from originally, for people who wouldn't know what a blank is. You just think, fucking hell, mate, am I going to give you everything? Do you want the keys to my house as well? It's like people don't want to put in the work to get the rewards. No. And that's another thing that people have to realise massively. If you're going to do it, you've got to go all in. And there comes to a point where I think I was a bit lucky in the fact that I was on the sick, so I got the chance to go. I've had a little taste of it, kind of working on my own. There's a point where you've got to plunge in. You've got to take the plunge. So they say, just go for it. Just go for it on your own. I mean, with me, it helps because we've got this fella here always helping. I've got you, because obviously you're my photographer. We work together a lot. Mm-hmm. Mark. I've got my model, Luke. We're just taking on a girl next year for the website. Good. And we've got a guy who's going to do SEO for the website. So I hate to be like, it's me, it's not me. There's like everybody who helps to build. It's a team, yeah. There's a team that will always help you. And there's people who will always help. But so it's never just like me, and I hate people who are like, I did this, I did that. No. It's not about that. It's like just moving forward together and that. So, yeah. Some of the things I hate personally is just that. I mean, one of the things I do fucking can't stand in Liverpool is just everyone's just doing animals. It's like there's a certain brand who've done it very, very well and they're very good at it, and everyone just seems to like it's just a lack of creativity in the business. Winds me up, but at the same time, that helps you because right? That you can tell like every day there's a new brand. Every single day you've got a new brand who's doing something, and that also does help you because you can see your quality. And it's for us, it took us years to get the hoodies that we're happy with, the print that we're happy with. You know, obviously there's still things that we can improve, and we're going to try it. And 2020 is like we can tackle them big time. Of course. One of the other things is like we don't hold stock. No, never have done. After that's fine off the website when I ordered 10 of everything or whatever it was, we ordered shitload, and we were just sitting on it. In the end, we had to give it away to people and stuff like that. Man. So we've never held stock since then, and I don't think I want to. So there's
print on demand, then,
it's print on demand, but it can take 7 to 10 working days, and a lot of people don't understand that. So you get questions all the time. But the best things, again, is definitely when you go this and you see all that, and you just think that's something you've come up with. And something I've come up with, or together we've come up with, should I say. I'm the same at Anfield.
I mean, I know that I'm not really there as much now, obviously down to like different various work commitments now, but I think for me, the next step for you is where for yourself and for the company, and is to have that stock build of where you've got an item there, where you've got like 20 of them, and there's a regular... design or whatever where everyone wants.
I think we're at the stage now where for the more popular ones we can do that, and I think next year we probably will sit on stock of the popular ones, so they're straight out. So that's what we could tackle. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there is things obviously that we're going to get better. Next year is a big year. I mean, have you got anything already that you're ready for next year?
Ask you what your thing, but you've just kind of said it. Yeah, no.
There's a couple of things we've got. So next year I want to do a kids range, so we're going to go big on that.
Sick.
We've just took the women's stuff off the website because, to be honest, just wasn't really happy with it. So next year we want to get in a female designer to work alongside us, and we're going to relaunch a girls brand. So there's the two things.
Amazing, that's good.
The kids range and the girls brand we're going to tackle again big time. Yeah. So that's two things we're definitely going to do. Go ahead, lad. So what about you?
Yeah, so for me, for 2020, really and truly, is I'm looking to do more documenting. Like, you know what I mean? I'm going to record more what I do, the process and stuff, because like a lot of people...
So videography you're going to go into, are you?
Well, I'd say like just my day-to-day kind of like what I do and like the process of how a picture's edited and stuff. Like, because a lot of people just see like the finished article. They just see like, oh yeah, just a picture there, but they don't know... Because what annoys me is, like I just said to you previously, was that people think it's just a click of a button, but they don't know how you got that photo and what your, you know what I mean, your steps were into getting the final piece. So I'm going to do more breakdowns of that, or also like the adversities that I go through, like, as in, you know what I mean, having to maybe go on route to a shoot, for example, or location scouting. These are the things that people don't even see. Or
we've done that haven't we ourselves.
You understand what I'm coming
location
from?
scouts.
So they people will think, oh, yeah, I want a photo shoot and we're going to be in this room, or they don't consider the fact that you might want to do a locational one, so you've got to go and, you know, do a quick recce and make sure that the area is safe and good and there's no hazards and no unexpected, you know what I mean, surprises on the shoot. So like these are things that I'm going to kind of take people with me and say, look, this is what I'm doing. Before I actually do the shoot, there's times where like when I go and meet someone to do a shoot, for example, I'm there and like an hour ahead just to make sure that I know where I'm going, so you're not walking around like, oh, so where are we going next? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But now I'm going to show more of what I do behind the scenes, because you do see what I do. Like you do see what I've produced, you don't see what I have to do. The hard grey days, you know what I mean? Go on. Are
you going to get busy on your Instagram? Because you never post on that.
You know what? Yeah, I think this is a good space for me to kind of talk on that. So do you know where it is? It's like, when you... That question you said about being a freelancer, the hardest thing about like what I don't like about it, take away what I said actually about people undervaluing my work. I don't give a flying monkeys what you think of my work. Art is subjective. But the hardest thing I would say is managing everything yourself. Because when you work for when you're at an organisation, they're doing that for you. They're managing your pay. You don't have to worry about your money going through. They're doing that for you. But as a freelance or creative or whatever it may be, you have to.
10 minutes. Go on. Carry on, sorry.
You literally have to do that all yourself. So you have to do the admin. You have to think about when the pictures are going to come out. You've also got to edit the picture, especially if you're a one man band. You know what I mean? I ain't got no one working alongside me. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I always say to people, I wish I had a little sibling that I could show the ropes and say, look, you do the editing, I do the photos. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But that's the reason why I'm so terrible at literally posting consistently, because I'm having to do 101 things by myself. Do you know what I mean? I'm having to send out emails. You don't know. I send 20 emails out a day. Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? Just to even...
Again, it's grafting, isn't it? People don't see these sides of stuff.
You don't see that side to it. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? It's so difficult. Or you are having to do the edits that you've done throughout the months and whatever. So it is so much things all into one when you're doing it all by yourself. Do you know what I mean? That's why I don't focus on it. But I've already started creating content. I've got like 9 months worth of content that ain't seen a light of day. Yeah. That I'm gonna put together. I've got some pieces put together already, and I'm just gonna go put like a machine gun. So if you start seeing my work consistently on the gram, don't unfollow me or mute me. Just appreciate it.
Give it a like.
Give it a little like. You know what I mean?
Just quickly.
Go on. Yeah, gonna wrap up.
Is there 3 people you could shoot next year? Who would it be?
You can't do that to me. You can't do that to me because right now... And
let's talk like realistic. Let's not say fucking Kylie Jenner. Like,
no. Realistically. No, I can't.
Have you got anyone in the scope?
I can't answer that. No. I did say I was going to shoot someone actually, but now that the cameras are rolling and the mics, you know what I mean, we're live. I can't.
No, is there anyone you want to though? That you know, or is that what you're saying? You can't give away that info.
I can't say. Do you know what I mean? If it was someone obvious, I was just. This person, I have to. I would. I'd love to say it right now because I'd tag the person as well. But no, I don't. For me, I'm just rolling with it now. Do you know what I mean? Like, for me now, I shoot people who I love and work with anyway. So I'd say 2 years ago, so I was pinching myself all the time. Like, I'm working with this person. But now, as the time goes along, I'm excited to whoever it is I work with. Yeah. And I see everybody the same way. So it could even be big or small. I'm still happy with every shoot. If you was to ask me the question of what my favourite shoot was, I couldn't tell you. Yeah. Because...
Mine, you mean?
if you was to ask me what...
No, mine's your favourite cheese.
Yes, boss.
Yeah, that's like... Yeah, okay, let's just wrap it up then, Les.
That's cool.
Obviously, you're a freelance photographer.
Yeah.
If someone came to you now and DM'd you, I want to get into this. Give us a little quick... What would you say to them? What would you advise them?
Don't do it for trends. When the hard times come, are you going to stick it through? Are you going to be there?
Because they do come.
Yeah, that's it. Because at the moment, I feel like being a creative or an entrepreneur or whatever it may be is the popular.
Oh, it is. That's the popular thing, isn't it? Let's be an entrepreneur. It used to be geeks, didn't they? But now it's like the cool thing.
That's it. Don't just look at it because you think, I'm going to get followers or be popular. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, am I cut out for this? When it's not popular, when shit hits the fan.
Yeah. So you don't see that on Instagram, do you? You never see that real tough...
No.
Like when I said that I started my website, I never ever told anyone that on Instagram, but like, probably, I can't remember exactly, but it was definitely 2 weeks, could have even been a month before an order came in, and you're just sitting there after all that work, you're so proud, and then you get fucking nothing, and you're like, shit, is this it? Is this how it's going to be? So you've got to grind it out. Like, hard work, you just can't, like, it can't be replaced. If you can have talent, but talent without hard work is just pointless. It's not going to happen.
I'd also say as well, definitely, if anyone tells you that you can't, or your camera's not suitable, or you don't have the sufficient gear, F off. Tell that person to F off. They're just straight hating. Just do believe in you. Unless someone like you've got Callum here that will tell you that, nah, mate, that's not cutting it, and you know he's coming from a good place, because that's another thing as well.
Oh yeah.
Not everyone's got good intentions or good spirit about them. Some people have jealousy in them, so if they see you doing well, they'll tell you that it's shit. That's the people you can't trust. But find people that will really tell you that way it is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But really and truly, art is subjective. If you and yourself believe you can do something, do it.
Do it, yeah.
That's all I'd
100%.
say. 100%. That's what I'd say.
Yeah. I'd agree with that. Couldn't really argue with that. Like I say, if you've got a passion for something, do it outside of work.
Man. Do it.
Just build on it, and then I think life. It's proper cliche, like, but life is too short to not do something you want to do, so fucking just do it.
It's crazy.
Especially if you've got a passion for it. Like, I wake up every day. Here's another thing I haven't mentioned. The best thing is I wake up every Monday morning.
Same.
Like it's Friday morning. I'm just made up.
Same.
I cannot wait to get to like do something, go and do something. Whereas there's so many people who will wake up and their lives will just fucking fly past if they don't just do it. So just take the plunge, mate.
I tell you what, from a young age though, I might not have been book smart in school and stuff, but that's one thing I clocked from early. I knew that, do you know what, I'm not going to live that kind of life of doing something I'm not happy with. Do you know what I mean? I did, at the start of the podcast, I did say, growing up, I did want to do something that was very regimented and have that 9 to 5. Yeah. But I always kind of looked at it and thought, nah, like, I don't want to have, like, constraints if I've had to be in somewhere for 9 hours and I have to go to sleep and do the same thing. Like, I always knew, nah, like, even if I did finish my shifts and whatever, I'd still do what I needed to do. In London, you could go for a few drinks or something to eat, you know what I mean? So, no.
Last question then.
Go on.
Obviously, clothing brands. So I'm going to answer mine, and I'm going to ask you. No, in fact, you can ask me mine, I'm going to ask yours. Right. Who's your favourite photographer right now? Have you got one?
Who's my favourite photographer right now? So many, but I'm going to say Isha.
Okay.
She's from London. She's amazing.
Have you got an Instagram name or?
Yeah, Isha Shah Photography. She does like motion pictures and stuff like that. So she'll do the gifts and stuff.
Little shout out to her then.
Big up, man. Yeah. Big up. She's really good. I'd say female-wise, so she's really good. Yeah. You know what, though? It doesn't take a lot for me to kind of see a photographer's work and say, you know what, that's fucking amazing. Yeah. When I'm trying to relax and chill and not think about photography and I'm on the gram, and I'm like,
you can't shut off though, can you?
I want to take pictures now.
The gift and the curse of what we do is you can't shut off.
Yeah, so no, there's a lot of people I'm inspired by, man, honestly. There's a lot of people that I look at and say, they're dope, do you know what I mean? Yeah, so that's it, really, truly. But big up all the photographers, though, man. Do you know what I mean? It's not a matter 100%. Of who's on the pedestal. Big up all the photographers. Big up myself as well. Come on.
Fair enough. Yeah, so one thing I do just want to say is obviously we haven't touched upon, like... Go on. For people who are watching it and want to start up their own thing, I don't think we've really delved into that, like where you can go and this, that, the other. So we will do that on the next one.
Yeah, of course.
This was just like a little brief. Yeah, this getting to know us almost. Do you know what I mean?
Getting to know the man behind the cam or
cameras. Yeah. So I appreciate it, Les.
Big up, man. Thank you, man, for having me.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate you always, kid.
All right.
Take it easy.